Have you ever felt like you're putting in all this work to change your voice, but something just isn't quite clicking? Well, today we're diving deep into voice feminization. We're going to uncover the one big secret that's so often missed, the thing that can really unlock a voice that feels authentically you.
So let's just get this out of the way. When you first thought about this, what's the number one piece of advice you heard? I'm willing to bet it was something like, oh, just raise your pitch, right? It's the most common advice out there, but as we're about to find out, it's really only half the picture.
And yeah, as you've probably figured out by now, it's a bit of a myth. Just chasing a higher pitch without understanding the other crucial ingredient, well, it can actually backfire. It can cause a lot of vocal strain and lead to a sound that just doesn't feel natural. The real secret isn't about how high your voice is, but about something else entirely.
Okay, so let's get into the two core ideas that are honestly going to change how you think about your voice: pitch and resonance. Seriously, understanding the difference between these two is the absolute first step to gaining real control over how you sound.
Let's try an analogy. Think of pitch like the notes on a piano. You've got your low keys and your high keys. Simple enough. But resonance, that's more like the body of an instrument. Imagine playing the exact same note, a C note, on a tiny little ukulele versus a giant cello. The pitch is the same, but the sound itself is completely different, right? That quality, the bright, plucky sound of the ukulele or the rich, deep sound of the cello, that's resonance.
So to get just a little technical for a second, pitch is all about speed. It's about how fast your vocal folds, which are these tiny muscles in your voice box, are vibrating. The faster they vibrate, the higher the pitch. That's it. This is the source of the sound.
Resonance, on the other hand, is what happens after that sound is made. It's the quality, or the color, that your voice gets as the sound waves bounce around in the open spaces of your throat and your mouth. So it's not the sound source, it's the space that shapes the sound.
And this is where it all clicks. This is a quote from I Am Zaya, who is a really well-known voice coach in the online trans community, and her work is even cited in academic papers. She says that even if she makes her pitch super high, if she keeps her resonance dark, the voice just doesn't read as feminine. I mean, think about that for a second. It's the perfect example of why resonance is often doing the real heavy lifting when it comes to how other people perceive your voice.
Okay, here's the best part though. Resonance isn't some fixed thing you're stuck with. Not at all. It's something you can totally learn to control. So let's switch gears from the what to the how and talk about some practical steps you can take to start training it. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. How in the world do you actually change your resonance? It can feel like this invisible, automatic thing, but I promise it's all based on physical movements you can learn to control.
The secret lies in learning to control the physical space inside your throat, your vocal tract. And the main control knob, so to speak, is your larynx, which you probably know as your voice box. You can feel it right there in the front of your neck. When you learn to raise it, you're making the tube the sound travels through smaller, and that creates that brighter resonance we're talking about.
And there is an incredible exercise to help you feel this. It was made popular by the amazing YouTube channel Trans Voice Lessons, and it's called the Whisper Scream. It's specifically designed to help you feel and control your larynx without even thinking about pitch.
Okay, let's break it down real quick. First, you're going to make an ah sound, but just with breath, like a whisper, totally unvoiced. Next, put your hand on your throat. If you're doing it right, you shouldn't feel any buzzing at all. Then, while you're making that whispery sound, just try to gently move your larynx up and down. You'll actually hear the sound of the air itself change.
The reason this exercise is so brilliant is that it takes pitch completely out of the equation. Without being distracted by trying to hit a certain note, you can put all of your focus on that physical feeling of raising and lowering your larynx. You're isolating the variable of resonance, and you can hear the direct impact it has.
And hey, if you just had a little aha moment with that exercise, it would mean the world to us if you could hit that like button and subscribe for more. Your support really helps us keep making content just like this. Thank you so much.
Now, an exercise like that is a fantastic start, but real, lasting progress, that comes from consistent practice and also from understanding some of the tools and research that can help you along the way.
Look, as any voice coach will tell you, and as the science shows, this is all about building new muscle memory. It's not about doing one super long, intense session. It's about making small, mindful adjustments every single day. You have to think of it as a journey of gradual change, not some race to a finish line.
And what's really exciting is that technology is catching up to help us with this.
For instance, there are apps like TrueVox, which actually came out of credible academic research at New York University. This app can give you real-time visual feedback on your resonance. It basically lets you see the changes that you're feeling in your throat, which is just an amazing tool for practice.
And the hard data absolutely backs up this focus on resonance. In one study from the George Washington University that looked at people in voice therapy, sure, raising pitch was a goal, but for a whopping 88% of them, a primary goal was also to get a forward, brighter resonance. So even in clinical settings, resonance is seen as just as important, if not more so.
So, with all that said, let's just zoom out for a moment and put all these pieces into the bigger picture of what it really means to find your voice.
And this part is so important. You do not have to figure all this out by yourself. There are trained professionals called speech-language pathologists, or SLPs, who are experts in this stuff. In fact, highly respected academic publications like the International Journal of Transgenderism often talk about how essential SLPs are in guiding people through this process safely and effectively.
So if you take just one thing away from our explainer today, please let it be this: shifting your focus away from only chasing a higher pitch and learning to also shape your resonance. It is an absolute game changer. It is the key to developing a voice that not only sounds different to others, but more importantly, feels authentic and right to you.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to reflect on. Beyond all the technical stuff, beyond pitch and resonance, what does finding your authentic voice truly mean to you? Thanks so much for being here with us today.